for the esteemed Congressman Shaka Fattah. I've stood in rooms with Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. I have done many things in my life. But what I stopped by here to tell you is that before I did all of those things, I was sleeping in bed number 65 at the Ridge Avenue shelter. And at that point, I made a decision, and it was really not because I was so great or so much more spiritual or better than anyone else. It was because it was really the only thing that I had left to do. I'd done all the things that they tell you should do when you have that type of problem. I've been to the programs. I've been to the detoxes. I've been through the rehabs. I could tell them the program. And so really the only thing that was left for me was to return to what my mother had given me as a child. I prayed. And so I want to give you very quickly the formula that has allowed me to go from those crack houses and those streets to being a productive member of society. And although I'm an author and represent a congressman and all of those things are wonderful, but the thing that's most important to me, the thing that honors me the most is that I am a husband and a father. The first goal for me was to stop doing the things that had gotten me to that position in the first place. To stop getting high. Amen. Right? Because if you put yourself in a position where you have negatively impacted your own life, the first thing you have to do is stop. If you're a thief, stop stealing. If you're a thug, stop thugging. If you're an addict, stop using. If you're a dealer, stop dealing. Stop and watch your life begin to change. But the second thing I had to do, the second goal that I set for myself was to get an education. I had to go back to the college that I had dropped out of. And by the way, I managed to graduate from there and to go back and teach there. At that very same college where I dropped out. I'm trying to tell you that anything is possible. Right? And then the third thing was to have some guts. I remember writing my first book. When I was writing my first book, I was working as a concierge in a condominium complex downtown. And a guy came in and he said, "What are you writing, Solomon?" I said, "I'm writing a book." And you could see on his face like, "Yeah, right." Because I was a doorman. I was supposed to stay there. I was supposed to work there for 20 years, get a gold watch, and retire as the doorman. I said, "I'm writing a book." And he looked at me, and then he looked at his wife, because his wife was nearby, and I could just see it on his face. It looked like he wanted to say, "Honey, come here, you gotta see this." The doorman's writing a book. And it wasn't easy, it was hard. See, nothing is instant. Because I began to send that book out, and they began to reject that book, because the book was about my experiences on the streets. It was about 4 drug addicts running from the cops for a murder they didn't commit. It's $14.93 with the tax, in case you know. Pipe dream. It's published by Random. I sent that book out, and the book got 1 rejection, then 5, then 10, then 20, then 39 rejections. And over the course of 5 years, it got 50 rejections. I would come home every day and I would look in the mailbox and there would be another. I'd open the mailbox, another rejection every day. And then I met this young lady because I was living at my mother's house and we were going to college together at this time. And I met this young lady and I showed her my manuscript and she looked at it. And she said, "Wow, this is good. You have some talent." And so we began to date, and she started helping me to go through this manuscript, and I would be sitting on one side of the room going through the last draft, and she would be on the other side of the room marking it up with a red pen, and we went through 5 drafts like that, and by the time we sold it to Random House, they didn't need to touch a thing. All right. And see, what you have to understand is that I didn't have a dime. I had nothing. Right, but I had this thing, and I had this dream, and I had this vision, and I had these goals, and I met this woman who decided that, you know what, I'm going to help this brother.
That's right.
See, her girlfriends was telling her, you don't need to mess with him, he ain't got nothing. He ain't got the 3 C's, cash, car, and crib. He ain't got that. You need to leave him alone, but guess what, today she's my wife.
All right.
And today I hustle hard enough that she don't have to work. She's home taking care of our children. Guts. You got to have the guts to put a whole new set of expectations on yourself. You have to expect to rise. You have to expect to make it. You have to expect to lead. Stand up, because we got to step up our game, and if these people are going to make it, we're all going to have to step up our game. Now, if you're down with them, if you want to help them, if you want to help them to step up their game, you need to stand up. If you want to step up, you need to stand up. If you want to step